Hey everybody, welcome back. It is a very windy and cold day today where I am. I hope that wherever you are warm and cozy. I wanted to address today some of the philosophical challenges around gratitude. If we are a person of faith, it seems to me at least, very simple to be grateful for everything that life has to offer us, and in fact for life itself. If, on the other hand, we consider ourselves to be part of a secular majority, then it's more difficult to feel grateful for things that we might otherwise attribute to chaos and chance. For the secular majority, then, it becomes not a case of faith in something bigger than ourselves, but faith in humanity, that good things will come our way through the kind acts of others. I don't think it would be any exaggeration to say that 2020 tested our faith in humanity. Given that many of us are under stay-at-home orders right now, much of our view of the world is filtered through news and other media sources. And so that is why it is really important to take those 15 to 30 minutes a day to count the things for which we're grateful and to write them down so that we can change our view of the world and see the good that is all around us. I know that for many of us, we are experiencing one of the most difficult times in our life. We may have lost loved ones or a job, and certainly we've all had to change our way of life. We've lost much of our liberty, and it can become dispiriting. I'm not suggesting that we ignore these things, but I am suggesting that by doing gratitude journaling, we can help to become resilient and find a way to be hopeful for the future. Recently, an article in The Economist talked about how the world is increasingly lonely under this pandemic time, and yet it's something we don't talk about. That loneliness, which comes from being isolated from friends, family, and colleagues, can also make our depression and anxiety even worse. I'm not suggesting we all engage in a Pollyanna-ish kind of covering of our eyes of what's happening in our life or in the world, but that we try to find, despite the big things that are challenging us, those small things in our everyday life for which to be grateful. Now, for instance, I always return to soup. It is a cold and windy day, and I'm going to go home and have some potato and leek soup that I made over the weekend from things that I grew in my own garden. Now, if you are opening a can of soup, yes, you might say, well, I bought that soup myself. I made it myself. I heated it up. What is there to be grateful in that? But if you look a little bit further back, we can be grateful for all the people who showed up to work in this pandemic time, for those who grew and picked the vegetables, for those in processing plants that maybe were a little bit frightened to be working side by side with others during a time when there is a contagious virus all around us. And we can give thanks for those people who made it possible for us to have a nourishing and comforting bowl of soup today. Now, when I think about soup, it also reminds me of my childhood and the times when I was unwell and my mother would make chicken noodle soup or the comfort food of tomato soup and a cheese sandwich. Whatever it is, soup seems to be a universal comfort for many people. And so in addition to the small things that we can be grateful for right now, I suggest that in difficult times, we look to the past and for those moments where people were a part of our lives and did wonderful things for us. Looking to the past, we can remember a time when we were much more productive and self-directed, and when we felt much more connected to others in the world. It also gives us a sense of perspective to see that in the past we also went through difficult times and yet we came through. And that everything has a season and this too shall pass. And so I think it's important, if you cannot find very many things in the present moment for which to be grateful, or if you are in a period of grief and despair, look to the past to find that perspective. You might ask, why is perspective so important? But it is perspective that gives us hope for the future. And with hope, we're able to see the opportunities that arise and to begin to rebuild our lives in a new way. Things might not go back to the way they were before, but they will go forward. And we want to go forward with hope. If you enjoyed this video, then smash the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, click subscribe. And if you hit the bell icon, you'll be notified when I upload again. For what are you most grateful today?